First time we saw each other was in graduation, and we went all through high school without seeing each other, not once. And then graduation, she was standing in a line.
And I needed to fix my hair, so I went to the front of the line, and there was a giant mirror. So I started fixing my hair and my cap, and we're getting ready to walk across, to graduate.
And she noticed I was looking at her, and being a little teenager kid that I was, I didn't look away.
And I see someone through the reflection of the mirror looking at me, and I'm just like, okay.
So I just kept staring.
He's just like staring, he's just like this, and just like looking at me, and I'm like, okay, creepy.
And so she already had that vision of me, of the creepy stare guy.
A couple months later, it's back to school, and there's a dance here in Salt Lake City, and I go dancing, and I'm just dancing by myself, and I'm being weird, and I see him kind of roaming around me, kind of like a shark.
And I can't imagine what she was thinking, because she knew me as the creepy stare guy.
I'm like, didn't that guy just walk by here? Didn't that guy just walk by here again?
And then later on, I was doing my creepy stare again, just I like that.
So finally, I'm just like, maybe I should just dance with him. Maybe he's just too shy to ask me. So I just like point at him, and I'm like, come here, like I'm trying to be all sexy. And so I've never done anything like that before. I don't know why I did it.
And didn't look away, and she called me over for some weird reason, and we just kind of made small talk, and she wouldn't let me in right away. I could tell, like, she was a little bit withdrawn, but turns out there's quite a bit of things going on in her life that she needed, just to get out and be with someone. And so I just took her on a drive.
I told him, I'm old-fashioned, so don't be assuming that I'm your girlfriend, because I'm not. I'm still single. And so, like, after I mentioned that, like a couple weeks later, he took me to the lake.
Well, I took her to the Utah lake where she kind of lived, the Bay area, and then I sat her down, like, well, Brianda, I love you, and I would really love to be your boyfriend.
And then we've been together for 3 years, and then he proposed.
I knew she was expecting the proposal.
I had no idea.
Take her up to the mountains with a couple of my friends, think that we're gonna go climbing, because I did that a lot at the time, and I got her climbing. Took her on this route that I thought she totally could do, like pretty easy, and when she started going, I started the camera. I'm like, oh, you can do it, you can do it, and she's struggling like really hard.
And I get stuck in the middle of the wall.
Like, you can do it, like she has to make it to the top.
And I can't do it, and I'm like about ready to cry, and I'm freaking out, and I'm like, I can't do it, like, it's like almost flat, and I'm already like, I don't know, like 30 feet high, and he's like, no, you have to get to the top, you have to get to the top.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna meet you at the top.
I'm like, just stop recording, this is so embarrassing, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm getting a little frustrated and mad at him, like, why do I have to get to the top? And so finally, I think they end up like pulling me a little bit, and I get to the top, just like slightly to the top. Like the top is like right here, and I'm like down here.
So she got to the anchors, which is where the bolts are, and I'm like, you can make it, just come up here. And then my friends are like, she's like, I don't think I can go past this rope. And I'm like, yeah, you can, thinking like, oh, I want to do this so official.
He's like, and starts telling me all these really sweet things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is it happening? And I'm just like, my hands are all chalky, I'm sweating a little bit because I just climbed and I was stuck on the wall, and I'm just like shaking now, and he starts telling me all these sweet things, and then he shows me the box.
Like, will you marry me? And I showed her the ring, and
but I'm like looking up, instead of like looking down on his knee, I'm like looking up at him.
She's like, oh yes, 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 and I was like, let me see your hand, and I put it on.
And so I'm like, oh, and like I hold back the tears. I wanted to hug him, but I couldn't because I was stuck, and I had my harness on, so I was stuck to the wall, so I couldn't like do anything. I'm like, oh, come here, like.
She is very outgoing. She always knows how to have a fun time, and she's always spontaneous. That's a good strength of Brianda, is like so spontaneous.
He's really calm. I'm really opposite. I'm like aggressive and fiery, and he's really calm, and like in any situation, I would say that's a huge thing for him.
We love to be with each other 24/7, so.
He's really nice and patient. He's so patient.
Another strength she has, she is very loving. She always wants to be with me and just loves me for who I am,
and I don't even know how to put it in words. He's like just so loving. He has a lot of good qualities.
Oh, I guess I just want to say, Brianda, that I love you, and I absolutely look forward to spending my life with you.
I know that our future is really exciting. Like, I'm excited for our future. I see him, the way he acts with just his nieces and nephews, and the way he is with my sister, and the way he is just with people in general, and I think he has really good father-like qualities. It's something that women think about, I think, you know, like, is he going to be a good dad, is he going to be a good husband, and I see those qualities in him already, so I'm really excited for our future in that aspect. You know, I know we're going to be in it together for forever, so that's exciting.
And I know this is going to be a long and fruitful relationship.
I'm excited to spend my life with you, and I hope you know that I really love you.
And we're gonna be exploring wherever we want to go, and I will do my best to do everything that you ask, and just know that I'm not perfect. And that's all.
And that's it, because I can't do this.